I would like to and just wrap up everything that has been said. So in Stavanger, as you heard from Helene, and during the discussions, we had half day, like 3 hours workshop. Stavanger is a partner, a NEB and craft project. What we did in this workshop, they have a portfolio of tools, and we used the test beds. We had the 2 test beds, and we distributed participants in in different groups, 2 of them working in one test bed, the other 3 groups working in another test bed. And each of them concentrated on mapping one tool that has been used in the NEB project. What we did, I think you just saw in the pictures that I shared here and there, that we just had warm-up session with the impact indicators in terms of the shape of the dominoes. And then we used the whole impact model with all the rings to somehow map everything that we learned from the warm-up session and see everything in a more holistic way and find out from those topics and ideas that emerged from the domino game, to see how one action can actually have more benefits in different pillars, and how clashes of interest can be seen, and how can they be mitigated through the discussion, of course. And then we held the workshop in Prague. In Prague, our partners, they asked us to have 2 half days, and each of them concentrated on one development project. It was, they thought that it is difficult to have 24-hour with just one group of people, because it's difficult for politicians, for developers to dedicate, to commit 24 hours to the workshop. So we had 2 half-day sessions, but it was a lot longer. It was over 4 hours, but yeah, a little over 4 hours. And then what we did in Prague workshop, we mapped 2 development projects, and we again used the dominoes and the impact model wheel. In the revalue cities, still we are insisting that we would like to have the 24 hours, but wait for it, the first half day, we would like to you to invite as many various stakeholders as you can that is fitting for the project that we are going to map. And then we are going to take the roadmap as the tool. And we are going to map that with the dominoes and the impact model to identify what is included in the roadmap, what is missing, what are the challenges. But then to actually make it actionable, whatever the discussions and results in the first round, we are going to have the second half day, but only with the core group, not all the stakeholders, the people that are working on the roadmap, to somehow integrate all the discussions and whatever the output of the first session into the roadmap, to translate them into the roadmap. So yeah, this is what we learned from the first 2 workshops, and we wish to fine-tune for the revalue cities. With that being said, I will give the floor to Annemie to, yes, this slide is for Annemie. Annemie, please, tell us about the cookbook.
Yes, good. And then just like 5 seconds on the dates you've shown for the impact model workshop. So with some cities, we've already confirmed them. With some dates are not set at all. Those are just those that we suggested to the cities. And those are up for negotiation, so just to make that clear, because for some cities also they've said, so for example, there are some like beginning of May is problematic for most of the cities, so we definitely need to change that. So there's also some elections, etc., going on, so that is still up for discussion. So Ålesund, Bruges, for example, Rimini, they are all set. Burgas and Constanta would be an obvious match because we will be there for a city visit the week before. Before the other ones, we are still checking this. Good, then you can go back to the last slide. And this was just as a, also one way in this is going to be taken forward. Of course, we'll do the impact model workshops in each city. We'll make sure that it is directly relevant for the road mapping work that you're doing, using it as a way also to engage some of the local stakeholders more and better where possible. We do parts of the workshop in local language, if that's possible, so that it's as relevant as possible. And then, of course, we're also summarizing some of these things, making them available to others, because there's other cities that would like to learn from this as well. In spring now, we're doing this impact model workshop in 15 European cities across different projects. And we will make individual summaries for each of them, which we then qualify with you before we make them public. But in addition, we're also including this in this craft cookbook. Now, today, actually, any minute now, we'll upload it to the craft website for the first edition. Some of you have already been involved with us in order to feature your site, the work you're doing, in this first edition of the cookbook. So that's Izmir, Pisek, and Olesen. We'll have a second edition, so a more extensive edition of the cookbook with more examples, more in-depth discussions, etc. by June, so just before summer. And there we would really like to have all of the revalue cities featured. So that could be the site work that you're doing, so your pilots. It could be a particular part of a project or so that you'd like to feature. It could be some of the perspectives that came up during the impact model workshop, etc. So that is up for negotiation. So we'll distribute the link to you now as soon as possible, if possible, still in the chat here. You can download the craft cookbook. We'll also make physical copies available, so you can take a look at it, and then we'll work with each of the cities in order to make sure that everyone is included in the second edition.
Thank you so much,
Marjan.
Yeah, thank you so much, Annemie. So,
yes,
yeah,
you can also contribute. You can also contribute with other case studies. Yes, indeed. So you'll see there are also other examples featured in the cookbook. So it's both the content, the format, the way of working, and then specific examples. We're collecting them from, I don't know, more than 70 cities across Europe. So yes, feel free to also suggest other additional case studies as well. So back to you.